my screen.
Real quick, if you are hopping on, make sure that you are muting yourself so that when the speakers are speaking, we don't have any background noise.
There we go. Can you guys see it okay? We're good. Thumbs up, KB, if you can see it, because you're the only person I can see. Cool. See if I can change this to gallery. There we go. Now I can see everybody. Like in the dark in my room. All right, welcome everybody to our Coach Spotlight call. We like to host these calls once a month so we can give some ladies that we have become friends with on social media a little glimpse into not only just like the coaching life and the ins and outs of coaching, but more importantly, kind of our stories. And I think that's a big part as to why we are so passionate about what we do, because we all come at this journey from different angles, different reasons why we're doing this, and different stories that might inspire you and maybe touch a place for you where you're like, oh my gosh, if that girl can do this, I can do this. And that's what we hope you get out of this call. So I'm going to start slipping through these slides here and giving you some information. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the chat and we can go over them at the end of the call. This is like, we are so super chill. This is not like a professional presentation. We're a very laid back team. Shout out where you're calling in from in the chat. And then, like I said, if you have questions, let us know so that we can answer them for you. And there is no such thing as a dumb question. Ask whatever you want. So this is a little glimpse of our tribe here. We are a hodgepodge of women from all over now the world. We have ladies in the UK as well. All walks of life, married, not married, kids, no kids, fur babies, work full-time, not work full-time, mom of 5, newborn babies, like whatever there is, you name it, we've got it. And so I just want to show you a little glimpse of our cute little team here. We have a ton of fun trips and events that I'm sure you've already seen on social media from the coach that you follow. KB, do you want to take this one?
Oh, right. So who can be a coach on our team? We are looking for motivated women who are willing to lean in and help each other and be part of this awesome community that we have together. Hardworking, because this is a business and we want women to come alongside of us that are willing to put in a little time, a little effort, some hard work in order to be able to build this into a business. So we have full-time moms, we have stay-at-home moms, business travel consultants, nurses, a cycle bar instructor. She was a banker previously. We have office managers, homeschool mamas, teachers. We are literally full of, I feel like, every profession out there. There's people who are working full-time, there's people who are working part-time, and then there's people who are now coaching full-time on our team. All right, so when you are joining our team, we're not just going to throw you in and hope that you figure it out on your own. We really lean into one another, and there's tons of things that we do as a team in order to provide support to one another and with our new coaches. So we are ultimately here to help you on your health and fitness journey first and foremost, because if you are not being proof that the products worked and living a healthy lifestyle and being the best version of yourself, you're not going to be able to pour into anybody else. So we are going to hold you accountable in your own health and fitness journey alongside of mentoring you in this business with weekly team calls. We do lots of coffee chats where we hop on and just kind of casually talk about what's going on, what our goals are. We have team pages that there's always things being shared, tips, resources, ideas, answering everybody's questions. And what we love to do, and I feel like we really get to bond on because we are all, spread out, is our team trips and team trainings that we're able to do together and kind of have some fun on these excursions that we do that is ultimately given to us from this business opportunity. So you won't have to feel like you are on your own in this business. ever. So we are going to hear from 4 of us tonight. We have Jatana, who is going to be speaking first. And then we have me, another Kelly, and Ren. So first we're going to start off with Jatana. She is a wife and a stay-at-home mom of 2. She is a 5-time elite coach, a 10-star diamond coach, and she's the founder of Epic Empire. And she recently moved to Florida, and I'm very jealous of her weather right now because it's cold here and it's still warm and sunny there.
It is. It's hot and muggy, but I'm thankful. I'm thankful every day. What's up, you guys? Thank you for jumping on. Please bear with these stories. I know sometimes they can seem long-winded, but I promise you, if you stick with us, you will be inspired and motivated. So a little bit about me. It started about 6 years ago. I've been doing this for a while now. And it started as, stay-at-home mom, and I'm still a stay-at-home mom, so I do this from my home, but it started where I was in a place where I needed health and fitness back into my life. I just had 2 babies. They were both via C-section. I'd had a really hard time, not necessarily losing a ton of weight. It was more I had a hard time just feeling whole again in all aspects of life. So I felt like I was out of shape. You can look at my before picture. That's my before picture over there. I was by no means overweight. I was out of shape. I was unhealthy. I was very tired. KB mentioned, I call her KB, sorry, Kelly Bachelor had mentioned, the sunny weather. I struggled really bad with seasonal depression. So that was another aspect of my life. And then I didn't have a lot of community. I lived in an area that was very transient, had a lot of military families. And so it was really hard to make those connections with other moms. And so I found myself in this place of kind of sadly to say it, a desperate place where I was like, I had everything I'd ever wanted. I had a beautiful home. I had financially was secure, loving husband, healthy children, and I wasn't happy. And I'm like, what's wrong with me, right? I'm sure some of you guys have maybe even questioned about yourself, like, why? There's something kind of missing there. And so I thought, you know what? I'll try working out. Working out supposedly gives you endorphins, right? You feel better after you do it. So I'll try that to see if it helps. And so I dabbled in with a few different things, did Tae Bo, did Jillian Michaels, and then fell upon Shanti, and he stepped in my life and he kicked my butt. And I found myself feeling really defeated when I tried to do his program. So I got on my iPhone 2 at the time and I Googled insanity, and this blog came up and I started reading it, and I was like, okay, there's this mom on here. She's got before and after pictures. She has 2 kids the same age as mine, and she did insanity, and she has great before and after pictures. I need to reach out to her. So I emailed her, and she plugged me into her challenge group on Facebook. And from there, I keep saying Ann, but from there, my whole world flipped upside down for the better. I found a place for me where I was able to start filling those voids that I had. I had the healthy kids, I had the wonderful husband, I had the beautiful home, and I was financially secure. So none of those were reasons and why I was pursuing Beachbody. I needed to just feel like I had something that was for me. So the time that I wake up every morning and work out, it's really a time to fill my bucket so that I have the energy to jump into my kids' day. So I have the energy to jump into my husband's day. And so that I have the energy to feel like I can complete my day and not feel like I am literally surviving, because that's where I was. So you can see my before and after picture over here on my left. I think it's Shaw's left. You can see my family's before and after picture. I mean, this is kind of an older one, but even my husband has changed his life and his lifestyle because of the ripple effect of me being a part of Beachbody. Our kids are totally involved in what we do. They're very well aware. I love the fact that my kids are growing up into this, that I'm creating an impression on their life where they don't have to have the struggles at 30 and 40 years old that we had to actually force ourselves into this better pattern of life. And then the picture on the far right, still kind of an older picture, but it's one of my favorite little glimpses because it was finally in that place where I was like, I was a full-time banker before. I had been robbed twice by gunpoint at the bank. I had a 45-minute commute. I made about $55,000 a year, you know, with a degree and everything. I was about the max that I was probably going to make unless I decided to really go into my career and probably take a lot of time away from my family. I was about 10 pounds overweight. And like I said, I was super unhealthy, meaning I was probably eating McGriddles from McDonald's outside of McLean, Virginia, Wachovia, probably 4 or 5 times a week. And so my life is the trajectory in which I was headed in terms of my health and my wellness and my mindset and my career was like this, either a downward spiral or a complete standstill. And so I'm so thankful that I took this chance on myself. I posted that in my stories today and on my Facebook page, but just that if I wouldn't have if you see the girl on the left there, it's Tana there, if I wouldn't have had said yes to this opportunity, my world would look completely different. I don't even think we would be here in Florida, honestly, because our mindsets on life changed. And we are now pursuing things so much more differently than we would have if we would have stayed in that mindset with the girl that's over here on the left. I was able to buy my dream Jeep. I drove a minivan for 5 years, and you know, with Beachbody income, and obviously I gotta give a disclaimer, Beachbody does not guarantee any amount of income. You have to work hard for what you want, right? And it's all there at your fingertips. You just have to put in the effort. But I was able to buy my dream Jeep with my Beachbody income. Got this one of our Disney vacations, got to take James on his 6th birthday to Disney World. I don't know why we keep spoiling James. I feel kind of bad for Josh now because we're taking him to a Dallas game for his 9th birthday. And then just lots of celebrations. It's fun to be a part of a company, the top right-hand corner. You know, we say elite coach or 10-star, but it's really rewarding to be a part of a company that celebrates you. Because I'm sure you're in a workplace now, and if you stop and think about it, like how often do you get celebrated for the work that you put in? Not only do you get to change lives, change your own life, but they actually are like they're patting you on the back, clapping, handing you money and giving you medals and cheering you on. And it's an amazing and an incredible life-changing experience. And I know I sound very over the top, but this is 100% authentic. And I hope that inspired you guys. I'm going to move it over to the next girl. We got Miss Kelly Batchelor. I've had the honor of watching her from the beginning. She is a wife and retired teacher. It's been so cool seeing her transition into her dream job. She's got these adorable fur babies. Honestly, I can't even tell how many she has. I just see them in her stories, but they're super cute. She's a fur mama, probably a future mama, diamond coach, and founder of Fabulously Fit.
I have too many animals, let's put it that way. I just couldn't fit them all on the screen. All right, so let's see. 6 years ago, I was a brand new first grade teacher, just graduated with my master's degree. I spent what seemed like forever going through school to have a classroom of my own, and it was something that I was very passionate about, and I spent all my time and effort preparing that summer before my first year of teaching. I would spend literally all day because I had nothing else to do, preparing and kind of ironing out exactly what I wanted my classroom to be like. So when I started, I put everything into the kids in my room, the parents in my room, so much that my administration was telling me and asking me, like, are you sure you're a brand new teacher? Like, I feel like you know everything. You're doing so well and you aren't acting as a first year teacher. And that's because I literally put my heart and soul in every waking second into my classroom. Now, with that came a lot of sacrifices from me personally. So I was in this new relationship. Thank goodness my husband he's now my husband and stuck with me through that first year, because it was almost like we never saw each other, talked to each other, did anything together, because I was always doing something teaching related. So I would go in like super early, come home super late. And it started to become a routine that I wasn't coming home until like 6, 7 o'clock at night after, a full day. And I went in an hour and a half early and then needed to come home. But that late and after I was so tired, I didn't want to do anything else. I didn't want to cook. I didn't want to make dinner. So we got into this habit of, is that me? We got into this habit of ordering food all the time. And we had food on rotation so that we were, eating sushi. We were eating from our favorite restaurants. My husband owns a really popular pizza restaurant in town that we actually happen to live right behind. So he would bring up food all the time. And it just got to the habit where I could probably count on maybe both hands how many times I made dinner. So with that, I gained 15 pounds and just kind of lost myself in this first year of teaching, making so many sacrifices of not going out on the weekend and coming straight home and vegging out on the couch with, endless foods and snacks and stuff that we would pick up, and just diving into my schoolwork. And I lost who I was and what I wanted to do and, the spark that lies within me. So at the end of that year, I decided that I needed to make a change. I'm standing there in the bathing suit that you see on the left-hand side of my bathing suit picture. That was the day that was the pivotal point of me starting my health and fitness journey. I stood in the mirror at the beach house that I was at with my family, 15 pounds heavier. And I had already gained 15 pounds after graduating college and stopping cheering that I had done my whole life. So now I'm carrying around 30 extra pounds that I wasn't used to seeing myself in. And I wasn't used to having the weight of life and stress and this overwhelming, kind of cloud over my head that I had at that moment. And I just literally poured tears out of my eyes, just kind of in relief that the school year was finished, but then realizing what I had done and put myself through that entire year, that I just put myself on the back burner. So I was talking to my sister-in-law who was at the beach with me, and she was telling me about how she did this 21-day program where she lost all the baby weight for my nephew. And I was like, well, it's summertime. I had always made the time excuse that I didn't have time to cook dinner. I didn't have time to eat or go to the grocery store or work out and do all these other things. And now it was summer and I had all the time in the world for the next couple months. So I decided that I was going to get started on my health and fitness journey. I ordered that night and that I was in that bathing suit while we were just hanging out. I ordered the program. I had reached out to someone who I had just seen maybe 2 weeks prior posting about the same program my sister-in-law was telling me about. And I was like, it's got to be a sign. I'm very sign oriented. So I signed up, got home, and after 21 days of following the meal plan, using the containers, and working out 30 minutes a day, I lost 12 of the 15 pounds that I had gained. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I had gone to the gym, I had tried reps, I tried all this other stuff that never really worked as much as just plain old Jane health or exercise and nutrition. So I knew that I needed to make a big decision and figure out what I was going to do for that next year prior, because a teacher mindset is always already thinking about the next school year long before it ever starts. Yes, we get summers, but your brain is always thinking about your classroom. So I was already wondering how I was going to continue what I had done in these 21 days into the school year, because I wasn't able to, didn't think I was able to do it when I first started. So I became a coach, and the only reason I am here today is because I became a coach. It is the thing that has helped me stay accountable in my own health and fitness journey, because I knew if people were watching me and people were relying on me, I wasn't going to give up on them. So therefore, I couldn't give up on myself. So my biggest story was time, because I was worried about how I was going to, for one, be a teacher, be on my own health and fitness journey, and how I was going to incorporate this business that I was starting into my already busy schedule. So I just leaned into my health and authentically because I loved what I was doing and I wanted to help other people do what I had done for myself. So I was just sharing on social media, and it was very simple. I just did the tasks that we're going to teach you that you need to do. It's a very simple business. You just have to take the time. So I would take the time throughout my day, whether it was before school in the morning, I'd wake up a little, I'd stay up a little later. Instead of eating in the lunchroom with my coworkers, I would sit in my classroom and eat by myself. And I did that for, the next 4.5 years. I've been a coach for 4.5 years. And after probably my third year, I really started to feel like I knew that this life as a teacher was not what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. It comes with a lot of weight. It comes with a lot of stress, a lot of pressure. And it just wasn't something that I felt I could continue to do for the next 45 years, if not longer, until I could retire. I knew that I wanted to be present for my family and for myself and be my best self. And as a teacher, I felt like I couldn't do that because of what it was doing to me and how it was affecting me. So I told my husband probably every single day for the last year, and this was last year, that I was going to quit teaching and I was coming out of the classroom. Every single day, I would tell my husband, I would tell people on this team, I would tell my coworkers, I told my mom, I told my dad, I told all my friends that I was not going back into teaching next year. And I made it happen. I'm literally here in this office that I never thought I would have, and I quit teaching. I walked out of the classroom in May, walked into my principal's room and said, this is going to be my last year. I'm not coming back next year. And I literally feel like I am living the life of freedom. And it's so nice to be able to wake up every single day and design what I want to do and not have to deal with all the other things that I had to deal with as a teacher, and living this freedom where I can be present and spend quality time with my husband, go on trips. We're going to Disney next month, actually in less than 21 days. I'm counting down. And I wouldn't have been able to do that without taking days off, planning for a sub, and all these trips that we've been going on since I quit wouldn't be possible if I was still a teacher. So that's my story. I think that about covers it. So hopefully you guys were able to resonate with something that I said. And if not, hopefully you're able to connect with one of the other girls' stories on this call. But the next up is another Kelly. This is Kelly King. And I feel like we're like sisters. Like we were destined to be in each other's lives because I love her so much. So she is a wife and a stay-at-home mom of 4. She is an elite coach, a 5-star diamond coach, and she's the founder of Knockout Kings. And as you can see, she's got lots of kiddos.
All right. Hey, guys. All right. I'm going to apologize now because my kids are still awake and the gnats are playing. So if you hear any screaming, it's my husband or it's the kids. But that's how this fits into your life. So I am a stay-at-home mom or work-from-home mom of 4. And I started this coaching thing back when I had my 3rd child. If you're a mom, after you have a baby, things shift, change, rearrange. And I was kind of like, so my 3 kids are all within 3 years, and going to a gym was like not going to happen. I had a 3-year-old, a 1-year-old, and a newborn. So I started doing the home workouts, and I was presented with the coaching opportunity. And let me tell you, and Jatana can tell you this as well, I said no like 10,000 times. I was to the point I was about to block her because she had invited me so much, okay? Because I was like, no way, okay? I had zero desire to coach, didn't want any part of it. I just wanted to do my workout, deal with my kids, move on with life, okay? So I started my workouts. Again, I had the 3 kids my kids, and I was doing home daycare. So in addition to my 3 kids, I had 8 other kids in my house every day, from 7:30 to 4:30 or something along those lines. So my life was crazy. Like I couldn't even fathom like how I would add anything else to my plate at this time. Okay. So I was doing home daycare. I was hating the fact that I was missing my oldest son's preschool events, parties. If he was sick at preschool and somebody needed to pick him up, I would have to figure out something with the home daycare to be able to go run and get him. How many kids can I put in my, what car seats do I have? Who can I take? Like, it stressed me out to the max. I knew at this time I wanted to stay at home with my kids. Like, I wanted to be the stay-at-home mom. I wanted to be the one that took them to kindergarten, drop them off in the kiss and ride line, even though I hate that thing now. But I wanted to do all of those things. I wanted to be the classroom mom. I wanted to be at the parties, all of it. And I couldn't do that at that point. Like, they were still small, but I was thinking in the future, and I'm thinking, how I'm not going to be able to do that. Like, I'm doing home daycare. I need to bring in some kind of income. That's not going to work. So anyways, I started working out. Like I said, I had no desire to coach, like wasn't even thinking that. And what happened was, as I started to do the workouts, people started to ask me, what are you doing? Like, how are you doing this with 3 kids? Like, how are you losing the baby weight? Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, like, I didn't even know how to answer. Okay. I'm like, I don't know. I'm just doing these home workouts, And I had one girl who was like, okay, I want to do it with you. And I was like, okay. And for some reason, like, everything kind of clicked for me, like, at that time. I was like, hold up. I'm like, this could be the thing that brings me home to my babies. Like, this could be the thing that makes me be able to attend the class parties, be able to pick them up when they're sick, be able to, like, snuggle them, like, and not have to worry about these 8 other kids in my house. And why wouldn't I want to help other women do exactly what I was doing? Like, I had to kind of, I don't know, like, take away from myself and realize, like, other people need this. Like, it's not just about me. So I started coaching at that time. And like I said, it was all just by me working out. I was not sharing anything on social media yet. Like, people were just noticing the transformation outside of that, okay? And let me tell you, if you're thinking this, I was like, hell no, I am not posting a workout video. Like, y'all have done lost your freaking minds, okay? So if that's you right now, we'll get you there. But I was like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever seen on the internet. That was me, y'all, okay? So, and some of you are probably like, yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. So I was like, I am not posting a dang workout video. But anyways, when I kind of realized this was the tool that was going to bring me home to my babies, I just kind of started sharing a little bit, okay? And let me tell you, I still didn't post workout videos in the beginning. I was like the girl that put like a quote over my face, and I was like in a lunge or something crazy like that. But I was like, but the team taught me how to do all those things. But anyways, so with coaching, I kind of just dove in. I fit this into my life. Again, I had the 3-year-old, a 1-year-old, and a newborn. Like, it's not like I was just hanging out and doing all this work. So I fit it in when I could. I continued my own journey and just sharing about it. And it, like, the business just kind of took off just by me doing those simple things. I did not do anything crazy. It was just me sharing my journey, just being truthful. And I'm trying to, like, kind of get in y'all's mind, but if you're thinking like, but I'm not at my goal weight, that is not what this is about. Like, this is not about, oh, you have to have 6-pack abs to coach. You have to do this. Like, it is not. It's about being real. Like, it's okay to have a drink. It's okay to eat Taco Bell. Like, it's finding that balance for women of how to, juggle kids and eating out and enjoying life and working out and all of that. Like, that's what it's about. And by sharing that, I guess maybe 2 years in, I quit home daycare and became a stay-at-home mom with just my kids. I got to be like, I'm room mom for everyone now, which sometimes I'm like, I'm room mom for all my kids. Like, I went to a Halloween party today. There was no worries for me. No, like, okay, who's going to watch who? I get to go to those things. I get to go on field trips. I get to enjoy the lovely kiss and ride line. That's the one thing I regret. I don't want to be that one. But I get to do all those things now. And it's all because I finally just decided, like, this was the tool that was going to give me everything I wanted as a mom. There's one other thing I wrote it down too. Back to like sharing your journey. Like, it is not about being perfect. It's about showing your downfalls, like your strengths, like how you come over obstacles, like all those things are part of it. And if you just take the time to actually look at other people on social media, like they're all struggling too. Like, we're all hot mess moms. Like, we're all struggling to get our kids out the door in the morning. Like, you know, the one kid can't find their shoes, one kid's still doing their homework in the morning, one kid forgot to get you to sign their agenda. Like, that's all of us. And this we can fit into our life. Like, you make it work in your schedule. You don't have to stress about being at work at a certain time, which is so nice. But anyway, so now I get to be the stay-at-home mom. I get to enjoy my kids most of the time. No, just kidding. And I have completely like tripled my income. I'm still providing for my family and bringing in an income and getting to do, you know, the things that I want to do. So I think that was all. Sorry. And the last thing I was going to say is just some small sacrifices will equal big changes in your life. So just small little changes, like the small sacrifices that I had to make to start this coaching thing and get it going, have resulted in just such huge changes for my family, and just the fact that I'm home for my kids and they don't ever have to worry about mom not being there. So anyways, I think that's all I was going to say. Oh, am I entered? Okay. Next up, we have Rin, and she's currently cheering on the Astros. So she is a wife and stay-at-home mom of 5. All right, so 5. So I think 4 is crazy, but 5. She's a diamond coach, and she is the founder of Team Fit and Fearless.
Okay, so let's just throw this in here. My husband is the Astros fan. He's from Texas. And every time something happens, he comes down here and gives me a kiss. So if y'all have seen him, like, if he runs down here in the middle of me talking, I'm going to kiss him and he's going to go. He's like superstitious and whatever. Okay, so just ignore him. But 5 kids. So I'm going to try to condense my story to not be 5 kid length long, because that's like a long time. But it's important for you to kind of know who I was before my children, and then through my children, and then who I am now. So before my kids, I was like that girl that everyone hates. Like, I was like 96 pounds, soaking wet, could eat whatever I wanted, no big deal, okay? When you have kids, things change. It just happens. And with my children, I didn't realize how unhealthy I was. Like, it took me a bit to figure that out. But with my first one, I was on bed rest the majority of the time, and I had really high blood pressure, and I was on medication and nothing could control it. So I sat at home and like ate and watched TV and did whatever. And I had her super early. So I didn't have that last month where I feel like I always gain the most weight in the last month. So I didn't have that with her, and I didn't gain very much. But I did notice after her, I couldn't just eat whatever. Like, I had to actually think about it. So that's when I started like, okay, what should I do here? So I was working in a doctor's office. I had been working there for a while, and I was promoted to the office manager. So I was working like 60 hours a week, like no joke. And so I would wake up at the crack of dawn, and I would take my daughter to my mom's house because daycare's not open yet. So I'd have to take her to my mom, and she would feed her and do all the stuff while I went to work. She would take her to daycare, and then she would have to pick her back up. And I would go pick her up from my mom's house. So I was like going in at dark, going home at dark. And then after, with me trying to figure out fitness, I was like, let's go to the gym. So I would get her and take her to like McDonald's or whatever crappy drive-thru there was. And then take her to the gym and put her back in the daycare at the gym. And then by the time I got home, it was bath and bed and the next day. And I was like, this is not okay. Like, this cannot happen. I don't like this. So I quit, obviously. Didn't take long. I found different things. I was like, ooh, Zumba class. I can do a 30-minute class and get in and out. Didn't last long either. All those different things. So my second kid comes. They have like a 5-6 year difference. So that's the biggest gap I have. The rest of them are boom, boom, boom. But after her, really unhealthy again. And I was like, what's happening? Super high blood pressure, on medication. I didn't control it from 20 weeks on, I was in and out of the hospital on bed rest. We were broke because I needed to work. I didn't have like the awesome benefits that I, needed to pay for this whole bed rest situation. So it just got worse, and I gained more weight with her, and it didn't just come back off. And I was like, oh no, like what now? So after I had her, I was like, I really got to think about it. So my friend had the P90X DVDs, and y'all don't do this, but I was like, can you burn me a copy? Like, just burn me a copy. That's illegal. Don't do it. Okay. I didn't even make it past day one. Like, I was like, who are you? And why do you like all the pull-ups and push-ups? Like I can't even do a pull-up. I probably cried. Like, it was terrible. Didn't do it. So it was like a yo-yo thing. I tried like all these different diet pills and wraps and whatever. I tried all the things. And then I had a friend I was breastfeeding one night, and I you watch infomercials, like that's what I did anyways. And I saw Insanity, and I didn't know anyone that had it, so I wasn't going to burn it. So I was like, let me order Insanity. And so I did it. And one of my friends came over, and we were like, we're going to do this together every single night. Like, I have these memories pop up on Facebook, and they make me laugh every single time. And it's like day one of Insanity, woo woo. And my friends are all commenting like, ha, good luck with that. Like, it's really hard. And I was like, oh crap. And yep, day 3, you stop seeing me post about it on Facebook because we stopped doing it. It was like, we never kept going. But mind you, we were like eating lettuce and like starving ourselves because we didn't know what to eat. We were just like, the less we eat, the better. So we were like starving ourselves and trying to do this really intense workout. Didn't happen. And baby 2 and 3 were a lot closer together than I wanted them to be. They're like 15 months apart. So I got pregnant with him. And again, high blood pressure, medication couldn't control it. Like, the whole 9 yards, the same thing. And I was kind of like, that's when the light bulb went off. And I was like, what am I doing? Like, what is wrong? What is happening? I gained 70 pounds with him. And I was laying there reading magazines and watching whatever, like Grey's Anatomy and everything that people were telling me to binge watch on Netflix, because I couldn't do anything else on bed rest. And I was like, no, like, this is not going to work. I have to do something when this baby comes out, because 70 pounds, and my before and after on the very left, that was me, 70 pounds heavier. I've never been that weight before in my entire life, like never. And I was so self-conscious. Like, that's the only picture I have at that weight, most likely. I would have to dig to find another one because I would not be in pictures. That was when the only reason I took a picture, my daughter and me had the same teacher for the first time ever, and that teacher like retired after that year because she was like, I have a mom-daughter pair, I'm done. But we had like, she had the teacher that I had growing up, and so I was like, okay, let's take a picture. That's the only reason I had that picture. I refused to be in pictures. I was the one who would sit down on the couch and grab the pillow and put it over my stomach every time, and I would volunteer to take the pictures, and I refused to look in the mirror. I couldn't stand what I had become, and I had to change it. But also with all of the bed rest for all the kids, we were so freaking broke. Like, it was bad. We had nothing. But I posted on Facebook, and I was like, guys, like, how do you do this? Like, as a mom, how do you do this? I can't go to the gym. That's not happening. 3 kids now. Like, what do you do? And, I got some suggestions. And then this one girl was like, you need to go follow this girl. And so I went and followed her. Like, I followed everybody's suggestion. Like, I was doing all the things, and I went and followed this girl. And I got to this girl's page, and I was like, what? She is little and blonde and cute, and she's got 2 kids. She had them by C-section. It's Jatana, FYI. She's the one on this call. She's the one who I went and followed. And, like, she had these 2 kids by C-section so close together. She's got, like, abs and this personality, and I need what you've got. Like, just give me what you got. So she had this free group going on, and I joined this group, and I did nothing. Like, nothing. I sat there and watched this whole group happen while I stayed the same and did nothing. Like, I watched this group happen and did nothing. But then I was like, okay, like, I need the information. Like, I need the group, like the group. I don't want the free group. Like, I want the group. Like, tell me about it. And so she did. And if I didn't mention before, I said I was broke, right? We couldn't even afford our utility bill that month. Like, our utility company, they're great here. They like don't work with you. And I remember calling so many times and crying and begging and like telling them my story and like why we couldn't pay it. It was bad. It took so much to get them to just take half of the payment, which put us into the negative. Like it was bad. So when I asked her, I was like, I need the group. Like I need the actual group, not the free group. I want to put some skin in the game. She told me the information and I was like, okay, I can't do it. Like that was it. I told her no, like no. But she kept showing up and I kept watching her and I kept seeing her do all the things. And I was like, I'm getting in that group. I need this group. So I started selling my stuff online. And side note to add in here, my husband at the time thought that the best thing that we could do to gain financial stability was to go train with the Army. So he left when my third baby was 4 weeks old. So I had a 4-week-old, a 1-year-old, and a 5-6-year-old. And I was still working. I went back to work full time when that baby was 4 weeks old. So I was working like 60 hours a week or more if they would let me to get the money. He left to go train with the Army. Couldn't even talk to him. We couldn't pay our utility bill. Our grass was like up to our waist. Like I'm not even kidding. Like it was bad. But I was like, yeah, I'm going to sell my stuff and I'm going to get this. I'm going to make it happen. And I remember the day that it happened. It's actually tomorrow is the 5th year anniversary, tomorrow exactly, of when it happened. I was driving my oldest kid to cheerleading and I met the last girl and I sold her my Coach purse that I freaking loved that I bought before I had kids. Like I sold her that purse. I had the money. I stopped it in the bank ATM on the way. I pulled in the parking lot. Kid went in. I was breastfeeding and I was like, I'm going to find her page and tell her right now that I'm ready. And I pull her page up and the first post that I see is it said calling all mom shells, calling all mom shells. And it was basically saying that you could join her group and also be a coach too and do what she does. And I was like, hold up. You mean I can do all the things and it's the same price and I can like try to do what she does and stay at home? Okay, yes, please. So I messaged her and I was like, I'm ready. I'm doing all of it. Like sign me up for the whole thing. And she was like, okay, okay. And so I did. And I was the worst coach at the beginning, like the worst coach. I did none of the coaching things, but I did do that workout and I stuck to it for the first time in my entire life. I did all 21 days. I lost 14 pounds, 17 inches, and I was like, holy crap, that just happened in 21 days. I need to tell everybody. So I was like, all right, I'm going to do this. Like, I'm going to try the coaching thing. But like post pictures? No, no. So I would like post pictures of my shirt and the quote on it, but I'd cut my head off. And then I started like slowly getting into posting videos, but you would only see my feet like moving at the bottom. These all pop up on memories and they make me laugh so hard. But then one day I remember like my confidence slowly started rising, but my relationship with my husband steadily like decreased. Like it wasn't getting better, it was getting worse. And then I found out I was pregnant again, baby 4. And I bawled like a baby because we were not in a great place. But I've got 5 kids. I love kids. So I was like, okay, this is going to be the thing that saves us, right? And then Jatana posted something about like, do this and you can earn, this beach trip. And I was like, done. Whatever I need to do to be able to go to the beach by myself, I'm going to make it happen. Okay. So I did the things that everyone said to show up and do. I did all the things. I earned this trip. I went on this trip. I left this trip. My 4th baby was then 4 months old. I got home and not even like a month later, my husband left me. And to speak to where I was at this moment, right before I left, when I hit this goal that she had me reaching for that I wanted so bad, I quit my full-time job, my office manager job, because I got my paychecks started lining up to what that job was, and it made sense to quit. And it, like, if we weren't paying daycare, we weren't paying, like, it made so much more sense. We ended up with more money. Side note, add income disclaimer here, you got to work for it. But so I get back and I was like, I just quit my job. Like, I quit my job to pursue this full time, and now I am a single mom of 4, and like, what the heck am I gonna do? And I literally like went into my shell and dropped off the face of the earth, like dropped off the face of the earth. And I didn't tell anybody. Like, nobody knew I was going through this. No one knew he left me. No one knew we were going through a divorce. No one knew that 2 weeks after he moved out, he introduced my kids to his girlfriend. Like, no one knew all of these things that made me like, I just stopped showing up. I stopped working out. I stopped doing any of the things. And I like dropped off the face of the earth. So what happened was when I was on this team with all these people that had my back, they were like, I'd get messages like, and I was ignoring them, like checking in. Hey, what's going on? Like, are you okay? What's happening? What's happening? All the time, like little messages popping in and popping in. And you can only ignore them for so long before you're like, and you start talking to them. And I always get like emotional at this point because that was the hardest time of my entire life, going through that. And then a custody battle where he tried to take full custody of my kids, which didn't happen. But like, that was the hardest time for me. But I dropped off the face of the earth and then got like 3 freaking jobs to make up for what I was making before. Like, I decided to bartend while I didn't have my kids because, like, why sleep, right? And then I had like 2 other random jobs and all these things. And that's actually where I met my husband now. So like, I'm not going to knock it because I met my husband now, who is amazing, obviously, because I gave him another kid. You're welcome. But, but I met him, and literally like in January of this year, I woke up and I was like, what the heck am I doing? Like, why am I doing all these things when I could have just kept on with what I was doing before, and who knows where I would be? So I woke up on top of everyone else, not letting me stop, because they have your back. When you join this team, that's the one thing I can say, for like, they have your back and they will message you until you come back out and you show back up for yourself. And that's what I started doing, showing back up for myself. And it took from January, I was super pregnant. I had my baby in March. Before I had my baby in March, I quit every other job that I had, which, side note, I was not bartending anymore. Quit that long before then. But I quit all the other jobs that I had, and I was back at this full time. And I was able to, me and my husband, we got this house that I'm actually in right now, and you see the picture of it there. The one request from my oldest daughter was, Mom, I want stairs in my house. And I was always like, well, that's not going to happen. Like, that house payment is stupid. And I remember I have a video, I surprised her walking in the house, and I was like, we're just going to go look at this house and see. And she was like, okay, Mom. And so we come in, and my husband was here, and there was other people here and decorations, and we were like, welcome home. And she was like, stop it. And like, we were all crying. And just being able to not spoil my kids, because that's not my intent, but to give them options that I didn't have growing up and that I couldn't give them before. It's been insane and unreal. And if I had never come to this before, I would literally be on like, I would definitely be on depression medication. And I don't know, he would probably have full custody of my kids, because that would have been a complete and total disaster. So this team totally saved my life. And I can't even tell you how amazing that was for me. It was the best thing. So you see my before and after. That before was, 2 to 3 kids. And then the after, that was after having 4 kids. Like that little black dress, I wore that after having 4 kids. And my 5th baby is 7 months old now. So I'm working on it again. This thing is blocking it, but me and all my 5 kids right there, you see me and my husband, actually a happily ever after. The top picture, having a photo shoot at another freaking event that I earned, and then our house down there with all of our kids in our little minivan. Minivan moms. That's all I got.
Oh my goodness. So many inspirational stories, you guys. And it's been so neat seeing, because I've watched all 3 of these ladies from beginning to where they are now. And every time I just sit and I listen in awe, because I'm so freaking proud of them. And I can't wait to have you listening right now on a call like this, sharing your story. Can you imagine where you could be 4 years from now? With this business, on your health and fitness journey, where your family could be, the changes that can happen in your life if you take that risk on yourself. So this is just a little snapshot of income potential of my first couple of years. within the business. I have been able to make a multiple six-figure income with this business, working sometimes from my kids' playroom floor, a lot of times from my cell phone. Now it can be laying by the pool because I'm in Florida with my cell phone. But it's all, if it doesn't happen like right here, I have a really hard time even doing it. Ask some of my girls on my team, like, I don't even like my desktop. I sit at it only when I have to. So it's got to be convenient. And so this is a moneymaker, and it's awesome. First month as a coach, I made $643. That's like a baller car payment, right? Second month, or sorry, it's not second month, the second January, so 12 full months in. So in 1 month in my first year, because I started in January, the second January, I made $1,927 in 1 month, which is incredible. And it just keeps getting crazier. And then my 24 month in that January, within 30 days, because there's 30 days or 31 days in January, $6,369 in 1 month. That's insane. That's still insane to me. Sometimes I can see that a week now, which is crazy. And then 48 months in 1 month, I measured at $28,497 in 1 month. And that didn't include my husband's income. That was just me. And he's involved in my business as well. So it's just really cool to see. I mean, those numbers are mind-boggling sometimes, but it's out there. It's like at all these girls' reach. It's at your reach if you want it. And just like Kelly King had said earlier, it's really what you want to make it. Whatever joy you want to bring out of this business, if it's just, I just need some girlfriends in my life and have some fun, it can be that too. I just want the 25% off, it can be that too. I want to quit my job, obviously, it can be that too, because these girls have been able to do that. I want to stay home with my babies and not have to go back to work after having them. That's what it could be as well. So just want to give you guys a screenshot because I know money is a little awkward of a conversation, but I think it's something we're all curious about. And I think you should be aware of the income potentials for you. So team trainings, we have them every month. Actually, ours starts February 4th. So this is great timing. It gives you time to get set up, obviously, with your coach account, figure out your consistency with whatever program you're going to choose, especially if you've never actually completed a Beachbody program. We want to get you started on one and like complete it from beginning to end. And then get you set up with your website and all that way before the training starts on November 4th. That's only 4 days away, but that's enough time to get all the things you need and the gears going so that you can get started with us on the training. So after this call, I want you guys to reach out to the coach that invited you, and I want you to take that leap of faith, because literally the least that's going to happen in this process is you get healthy and fit. Like, that's the minimal risk is you get healthy and fit. But what can happen could blow your mind. And I want you guys to take that opportunity for yourself. All right, so I'm going to stop my screen share and see if there's any questions in the chat. Well, Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Hey, Fort Bragg. Hey. Sorry, I was born in Fayetteville. That's Fort Bragg. Any other questions? I don't see any written in the chat. Or are you going to unmute your line? If not, we'll pop off and watch the World Series. But you guys, don't be scared. Like, we are super pumped and excited to introduce you to our team. You met some incredible women tonight, but there's a whole hundreds of us in Epic Empire, just as incredible as these ladies that you've met tonight. Don't be scared. Don't let fear stop you from something that could be absolutely amazing for your life. And like I said, the littlest that can happen is you stay healthy and fit, right? All right, I love you guys. Have an amazing night. I can't wait to meet you in our team page. Good night, guys.